have held us up. The men and women recognized here today are those stories made flesh. It is now my honor and privilege to invite a visionary. I call him the glue of the GNU. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of South Africa, His Excellency, President Mr. Cyril Ramaphasa, to the ceremony. You are welcome, President.
He just said he's training as a poet.
Sorry, President. I just knew I'll make one mistake. I should have done the anthem first. Thank you. I looked here on my list, and the person that wrote here didn't put the anthem, but intuition. So my enemies are many among the people that prepared. Can we please rise for our national anthem? DP, can we please rise? Thank you, DG. For us to remain standing, and President, please. I was looking for your iPad. I thought it's missing again, but yeah.
Please, let's be seated. That's what a minister of Arts, Sports and Culture does when they sometimes do their work. And now we've got the children here, Minister, who are going to do the most important act of our ceremony. Please go ahead.
Thanks. Kragtens de bevoegdheden aan mij verleen bij de grondwet van de Republiek van Zuid-Afrika. 1996 ken ik de orde van Menti wat daarbij heet. De orde van Ikamanga, de orde van Bijbel, de orde van Lutuli, de orde van Mapunguwe en de orde van Manschelle en de orde van Abdool. De ontvangers wordt voortaan gegeven as gesien julle die ordes. Die mense van Suid-Afrika bring hulde aan hulle ama.
Chivenda ngamanda enda weshone ngachipida cha bufumalo ina ngamanda enda weshone ngachipida cha bufumalo ina cha Republic ya Africa Chipembe cha ṅwaha gididatairati ndinetshedza chiala cha mendi cha Buhari chianda cha Ikhamanga chiala cha Muvhuyu chiala cha Luthuli chiala cha Mapungubwe na chiala cha Thama dza OR Tambo vhatanganedzi vha ḓo ṱhonifhiwa sa miraḓo ya dzi order vhathu va Afrika Tshipembe va va vulela mungazi.
Rungula i Xitsonga. Ku ya hi matimba lawa ndzi nga havasheriwa wona hi vumbiwa bya Riphabuliki ya Afrika-Dzonga hi lembe ra 1996 1996 ndza nyika sweswi mfungo wa Mendi wa vunhenha, mfungo wa Ikhamanga, mfungo wa Baobab, mfungo wa Luthuli, mfungo wa Mapungubwe na mfungo wa xinghana wa OR Tambo. Kusukela sweswi vaamukeri va ta fungiwa tanihi swilo swo hlonipheka swa mimfungo. Vanhu va Afrika-Dzonga va va hluvulela swihuku hinkwavo.
Setswana ka dithata tse di neilweng ke Molaotheo wa Repaboliki ya Aforika Borwa wa ngwaga wa 1996 1996 jaanong ke neelana ka sekgele sa Mendi sa bopelokgale, sekgele sa Ikhamanga, sekgele sa Baobab, sekgele sa Luthuli, sekgele sa Mapungubwe le sekgele sa ditsala tsa ga OR Tambo. Baamogedi go tloga fa ba tla tlotliwa jaaka ditokololo tse di tlotliwang tsa dikgele. Batho ba Aforika Borwa ba tlotlomatsa botlhe.
Sepedi ka matla ao ke a filego ke Molaotheo wa Repaboliki ya Afrika Borwa wa ngwaga wa 1996 1996 bjale ke abela sefoka sa Mendi sa bogale, sefoka sa Ikhamanga, sefoka sa Baobab, sefoka sa Luthuli, sefoka sa Mapungubwe le sefoka sa bagwera ba OR Tambo. Baamogedi go tloga moo ba hlomphiwa bjalo ka maloko a hlomphegago a difoka. Batho ba Afrika Borwa ba ba hlompha ka moka.
IsiZulu ngamandla engithweswe wona ngumthethosisekelo waseNingizimu Afrika wonyaka we-1996 ngithwesa manje izimiselo zobuhlomelo obuqhawe weMendi, izimiselo zeKhamanga, izimiselo zeBaobab, izimiselo zikaLuthuli, izimiselo zeMapungubwe, izimiselo zabahlobo baka OR Tambo, laba abathweswe leminyazane. Sukela manje bazohlonishwa ngokuba amalunga aqavile ezindondo zezizwe. Abantu baseNingizimu Afrika banethulela isiqhoko.
IsiXhosa ngamagunya endwanikiweyo phansi komgaqo siseko weRiphabhliki yoMzantsi Afrika wamawaka 1996. Ngoku ndinikezela imbasa yeMendi yobukhalipha, imbasa yeIkhangamanga, imbasa yeBaobab, imbasa kaLuthuli, imbasa yeIkhangamanga, imbasa yeIkhangamanga, imbasa yeBaobab, imbasa yeMapungubwe, imbasa kaLuthuli kunye nembasa mahlakani ka-OR Tambo. Abo bazakunikwa ukusukela ngoku bayakunikwa imbeko njengamalungu abekekileyo embasa. Abantu baseMzantsi Afrika abothulela umnqwazi bonke.
Sesotho, tlasa matla ao ke a fuweng ke molao wa motheo wa Rephaboliki ya Afrika Borwa wa selemo sa 1996, 1996. Ha jwale ke o rwesa kgao ya Mendi bakeng sa ho bontsha sebete, kgao ya Ikhamanga, kgao ya Baobab, kgao ya Luthuli, kgao ya Mapungubwe le kgao ya dithaka tsa OR Tambo. Ho tloha ha jwale baamohedi ba tla hlomphuwa jwalo ka dintho tse hlomphehileng tsa dikgau tsena. Batho ba Afrika Borwa ba tla ba thuhuletsa kaofela ha bona.
IsiSwati, ngemandla lenginikete wona ngaphansi semthethosisekelo weRiphabhliki yaseNingizimu Afrika yeminyaka yenkulungwane nemakhulu layimfica nemashumi layimfica nesithupha, 1996. Manje ngithanda ukwehlonipha ngomklomelo wemendi webuchawe, umklomelo weBaobab, umklomelo welithuli, umklomelo wemapungube kanye nomklomelo webungani ba-OR Tambo. Labamukeli batawuhlonisha njengemalunga lasemqoka etimvomvo tesive. Bantu baseNingizimu Afrika babethulela sigqoko bonke.
IsiNdebele. Ngaphasi kwamandla enginikela wona ngomthetho sisekelo weRiphabhliki yeSewula Afrika ngomnyaka wenkulungwane namakhulu alithoba nesithandathu, 1996. Gadesi nginikela ngonongorwane wobukuthani wemendi, unongorwane we-Ikhamanga, unongorwane weBaobab, unongorwane welithuli, unongorwane wemapungubwe kunye nonongorwane wabelingani baka-OR Tambo. Ababukeli kusukele gadesi bazohlonitshwa njengamalunga ahloniphekileko bokuhlonitshwa. Isitjhaba seSewula Afrika sinithulela ingwane noke.
Khoisan Khontale. Kanka he Republic van South Africa kya kama singu ha hanami he manghi. Kamanga mindi kya ga qogi kwakwe. He tikika kewa Ikamanga aga. Ngawatikika kewa Baobab aga. He tikika hewa Lutuli aga. He tinetikika makek ngawatina mapungubwe aga. He tikika mtina ngahiti kweka OR Tambo aga. Tati khowisi ngangoleka thuta qaqati khwinki gosing giti ke pangam ta South Africa khowisi si thwaje khama khwiki minqwila.
Program Director, Minister, I think they all deserve. Thank you very much to all of you young people. I can bet you, even myself, the Deputy President, the Minister, can never claim that we understand all these languages. Deputy President Paul Mashatile, Speaker of the National Assembly, Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Chairperson of the NCOP Ministers and Deputy Ministers here present, Members of Parliament, the Chancellor of the National Orders, Ms. Pindile Baleni, members of the Advisory Council, who are also here, of National Orders, members of the Diplomatic Corps, and recipients, more importantly, of the National Orders who we are celebrating today, together with their families and friends who are with us here today, and all distinguished guests here present. We have gathered here as we have this morning to honor those amongst us who in many diverse ways have shaped the country that we call home. This occasion calls to mind the words of an American poet, William Ralph Emerson, who in his work that is titled A Nation's Strength, said, as he wrote, that a nation's strength is not found in fortune, in pride, or even in the sword, not in gold, but only in men, and may we add today, because he didn't add it then, and women, can make a people great and strong. Men and women who, for truth and honor's sake, stand fast and suffer long. Brave men and women who work while others sleep, who dare while others fly. They build a nation's pillars deep and lift them to the sky. So today is a day of celebration, our greatest aspiration, to build a democratic South Africa founded on equality, justice, and dignity for all. It is an inspiration carried by our forebears long before democratic South Africa was born. When the first democratic constitution of our country was signed into law 30 years ago, this aspiration became the cornerstone of an edifice that had been built by generations of patriots and heroes. Like those patriots and heroes, the people that we are honoring today have helped to give life to the dream of a free and just South Africa. Their activism has extended to music, to politics, to sports, to literature, to culture, to medicine, to science, education, and the advancement of the human rights that we so cherish. In their many fields of endeavor, they have made an invaluable contribution to our national life. By honoring them today and celebrating them, we are recognizing that the pillars of our democratic order are deep, they are firm and unshakable because of the many great South Africans who helped to build our country and its stature. The Order of Nkamanga is awarded to South Africans who have excelled in the fields of arts, culture, literature, music, journalism, and sport. The fact that so many of the recipients of the national orders this year are musicians, filmmakers, authors, I almost said would-be poets like the minister here, playwrights and athletes, reflect the enduring ability of sports, arts, culture to capture the hopes and the triumphs of our nation. It is a testimony also to the diversity and richness of the South African experience and the many ways in which the life of our nation is interpreted and expressed. The Order of Mapungubwe recognizes South Africans who have attained excellence and exceptional achievements for the benefit of our country and beyond. The achievements of all our recipients this year speak to our country's growing international standing as a global center of scientific and medical best practice. Their achievements remind us that scientific endeavor is inseparable from the pursuit of human progress and well-being. We seek knowledge not for its own sake, but to protect lives, to improve health, and to build a better life for all our people. and the peoples of the world as their endeavors extend beyond our borders. The Order of Baobab recognizes South Africans who have played a formative role in business and the economy, in science, medicine, and technological innovation, and in community service as well. This year's recipients have made their mark across a range of fields that were the building blocks for the society that we have today. The Order of Luthuli recognizes dedication to a non-racial, non-sexist, and democratic South Africa. It recognizes the men and women whose activism lit the path to our freedom, and to those who continue to keep that flame alive and burning. This national order is one we particularly cherish, for we are determined to honor our veterans and the stalwarts while they are still walking amongst us. Through the passage of time, the passage of time has robbed us of many of the brave men and women who were at the forefront of the struggle for liberation. We celebrate those who are still here to tell their stories and to impart a living legacy to the next generation. I would like to acknowledge the families who are present here today and thank them on behalf of all South Africans for lending us these great sons and daughters of the soil who worked so hard that we should attain our freedom. By bestowing this award, we affirm once more that the story of our freedom should not pass into a distant legend and memory, but should continue to be carried by successive generations into the future. The Order of Companions of O.R. Tambo recognizes eminent foreign nationals for friendship that they have shown to our country over many years. We did not win our freedom alone. We were carried by a great tide of human solidarity that stretched across our continent and the entire globe. We owe a great debt to the many leaders, peoples, and nations who supported us. By honoring them with the national orders, we reaffirm our enduring commitment to peace and friendship with all nations based on our shared values of equality and dignity. We welcome our recipients of the Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo who are with us today, and the families who have also passed away, or the families of those who have passed away. On the day that the Constitution was adopted 30 years ago, I said that it is the mirror of South African society, reflecting both the history from which we have emerged and the values of human dignity, equality, and freedom we now cherish. By equal measure, those men and women who are here today and to whom we are bestowing the highest accolade a country can give are also the mirrors of the South African society. Their life works and their achievements reflect those same values that we as a people hold dear, and the values that continue to guide us along our journey as a people. Just as our Constitution was written from the contributions of millions of South Africans, it is the people of South Africa who decide who is bestowed with a national order. In a land of innumerable heroes and heroines, the South African people have decided that it is these men and women that we are honoring today that they want to lift to the sky. This is the greatest honor. under the powers that are vested in me, and in recognition also of the work that so many people have done in nominating all our recipients, and these powers vested in me by the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, I now confirm the Order of Nkamanga, the Order of Baobab, the Order of Luthuli, the Order of Mapungubwe, and the Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo to the recipients that are going to be awarded these honors on the stage. The recipients shall henceforth, as all the young children were saying here, they shall be esteemed members of our national orders. The people of South Africa salute them, we celebrate them, we honor them, and we thank them for all that they have done to hold the image, the dignity of our people and of our country high. So we honor you and we thank you deeply for all that you are and for all that you have done. I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the young man that was Jonathan, it was right. I found him very nervous this morning preparing for his day, and I said to him, you're going to do well, and I've been looking at him. He's been doing well. I said to him, listen, look at the bright side. When you make a mistake, most of the people in the room wouldn't recognize. Just don't go to the extent of some fellow a few years ago when President Obama was here. Can we please give him a hand of applause? Mr. President, distinguished guests and fellow South Africans, we will now bestow the Order of Nkamanga. The Order of Nkamanga is awarded to South African citizens who have excelled in the field of arts, culture, literature, music, journalism, and sport. The choir, we want to thank you for coming. You look absolutely, absolutely beautiful today, my children. Pardon? Yes. Are you going to render an item? Are you ready? Thank you. esteemed guests, I said we should clap for the choir, but I think the teacher, sir, where's the teacher? Can we give a hand to the teacher? Teachers are our most special breed. Last week I made a humble donation to my old school, and I was with the DG of the department, our DG in Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, and one teacher that should have retired a long time ago was telling my DG that I have the distinct record of having been expelled 7 times through my high school career. And the DG was shocked. She said 7 times. And everybody was shocked. And I was angry, and I thought I can't get more angry until I got to the vehicle. And my protectors didn't see me coming, and they said, hey, we are shocked. I said, why are you shocked? They said, we are shocked. We never knew you even went to high school. So, with the President, distinguished guests, and fellow South Africans, we will now call the DG, which is our Chancellor, a lady that has personally set me down and explained the importance of today, and very passionate about what's happening here today. And for South Africans to know that whenever South African is doing something wrong, people will say, you see, that's South Africans. But we don't want to be known amongst the worst of us. We want to be known amongst the best of us, because you are truly the North Star of this country. And without wasting any time, Chancellor, DG, over to you. Thank you very much.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Order of Ikamanga in bronze is hereby bestowed on Mr. Gavin James Creston in recognition of his outstanding contributions to the performance art, curation, and arts education in South Africa. Mr. Creston is a pioneering live art practitioner whose work profoundly challenges, enriches, and expands the cultural, intellectual, and political landscapes of the country. The Order of Ikamanga in bronze is hereby bestowed on Ms. Dalian Matia posthumously, today represented by Ms. Hilary Matia. For her excellent contribution to South African literature and cultural heritage, more broadly, that has taken South African stories to global audiences. Her craft of telling stories preserves our cultural heritage. While she recognized the importance of using accessible language, she also encouraged the use of mother tongue for full expression and nuance in her storytelling. Her work has stood the test of time and remains popular and relevant. But we need to do a photo first. The Order of Ikamanga in bronze is hereby bestowed on Mr. Samuel Mangwane. For his excellent contribution in the arts and culture, his dedication to promoting jazz music has made South Africa a destination for jazz enthusiasts globally. The annual concerts he organizes have become embedded in the cultural milieu of our country. He not only concentrated on art, but also played a significant role in the anti-apartheid movement, using music as a powerful tool to speak truth to power. The Order of Ikamanga in silver is hereby bestowed on Mr. Jonathan Kenneth Butler. For his contribution to the arts and music, in particular as a jazz, R&B, and gospel singer, songwriter, and producer. From the humble beginnings in Athlone, Cape Town, he gained a national profile as a teen performer and developed a career that made him a respected and sought-after studio artist and concert performer. He has used his music and faith as a creative tool to communicate with diverse international audiences.
I know just to do away with a little protocol, the president this morning said he hasn't heard Jonathan sing for a long time. So I wanted this rumor that you can't sing anymore to put it to bed today. DP, we are doing away with little protocol. I'll hold this. Oh. There's the mic. This mic is very good.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, you know my song? Yeah, we know. Okay. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. For God has been good to me. God's been good to me. Yes. Thank you. Listen. Lord, thank you for all you've done for me. Showing me things that I didn't see. Just because you love me. God, how can this be? Mr. President, this is why I write a song that sings your praise. I'm gonna lift my hand and say, thank you, Lord, for the joy you gave to me. Now, this is love, love, hallelujah. Come on, I got a choir. Kind of love that's more than enough. This is love, 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 love. Said Mr. President. I'll take my check later.
So, I thought you were very short. Now, but when you perform, you grow taller. Did you know that?
Thank you very much. Let's give him a great round of applause.
The Order of Ikamanga in silver is hereby bestowed on Mr. Johnny Mbizo Jani, posthumously, represented today by Mr. Thomas Jani Akuru. For his outstanding contribution to musical arts as a jazz double bassist, vocalist, and recording artist, notably with the Blue Notes Jazz Band, who fled South Africa in 1964 to perform around the world as free artists. His versatile talent served to promote and highlight South Africa's gift to the world. The Order of Ikamanga in silver is hereby bestowed on Ms. Andiswa Kebashe. contribution to the often marginalized deaf community. She has worked diligently to break barriers, make national events accessible, and ensure that the deaf community is represented in arts, media, and education. Andiswa embodies the values of inclusivity, nation building, and human rights. The Order of Ikamanga in silver is hereby bestowed on Mr. Norman Shaban. For his contribution in the sport of boxing, where he delighted many with his 21 fights as a professional. He mentored many and inspired young men to train and enter the ring. His commitment to youth development through sport is commendable. The Order of Ikamanga in silver is hereby bestowed on Dr. Trevor Jones. For his contribution to musical arts and cinema through his composition of highly acclaimed scores for internationally successful films, and for opening his home in London as a place of refuge for many comrades of the liberation movement. Ikamanga in silver is hereby bestowed on Dr. Oliver Khadime Matsipe posthumously. The honor to be represented today by Mr. Malau Matsipe. His prose is cultural heritage. The Order of Ikamanga in silver is hereby bestowed on Professor Deuteronomy Beginkosi Zeblon Ntuli. For his enormous contribution in preservation of language through his incomparable translations from English to isiZulu. He translated many works into isiZulu. His notable translation works include Nelson Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom, which he retitled Uhambo Olude Oluya Enkululekweni, and Khalil Gibran's The Prophet, which he retitled Mupolofeti. The Order of Ikamanga in silver is hereby bestowed on Mr. Benjamin John Peter Kyamzashe posthumously, represented by Ms. V. Kyamzashe Ngukana. for his significant contributions to South Africa's cultural heritage and the inspiration he provided to generations of musicians and music lovers alike. His impact extends beyond the music sphere, as he played a vital role in nation building, social cohesion, and community development through his art. The Order of Ikhamanga in gold is hereby bestowed on Mr. Johann Rassie Erasmus, represented by Mr. Rassie Erasmus. For his inspirational leadership in national and international rugby that has propelled the Springboks to repeated World Cup championships. Victory on the field of play has advanced social cohesion among South Africans and raised the nation's esteem in the international community. The Order of Ikhamanga in gold is hereby bestowed on Mr. Wouter Kellerman. For his outstanding personal achievements as a flautist, composer, and an arranger, and his contribution through musical expression. He has demonstrated the power of music as a universal language that is able to unify South Africans. hereby bestowed on Mr. Todd Machikeza, posthumously, represented by Ms. Marian Machikeza. The Order of Ikamanga in gold is hereby bestowed on Professor Kabajane Kabi Vivian Mngoma, posthumously, represented by Mr. Linda Mngoma. For his contribution to music as a scholar, conductor, and teacher who established the music department at the University of Zululand in 1975 and originated music competitions and clinics that remain treasured by conductors, performers, and audiences to this day. The Order of Ikamanga in silver, we had to go back to silver, is hereby bestowed on Mr. Oscar Mdlongwa Oskido. For creating opportunities for young musicians as an extension of his own success as a disc jockey, DJ, record producer, and an entrepreneur, and quite a pioneer. His work with up-and-coming musicians has become an integral part of his musical journey. Order of Ikamanga in gold is hereby bestowed on Mr. Jeremiah Gipi Murolong Mckenzie, posthumously, represented by Ms. Ntsabi Mckenzie. For his contribution to the development and popularity of jazz in South Africa and its integration into the genre internationally. As an alto saxophonist, he was one of a generation of luminaries who shaped South Africa's modern jazz style through innovative compositions and uniquely South African improvisation. The Order of Ikamanga in gold is hereby bestowed on Ms. Gwyneth Maria Ndaba, posthumously, represented by Ms. Olafemi Katane Roy. In recognition of her outstanding support for established performers and nurturing of emerging artists from Dorkey House, the creative community's refuge amid the onslaught of apartheid, Ms. Ndaba offered her arts administration capabilities to the artists at home and in exile, while she remained a committed and unmovable resident of Dorkey House and an icon of resistance and resilience. The Order of Ikamanga in gold is hereby bestowed on Mr. Mlefe Petu, posthumously, represented by Ms. Deborah Pedro. For his contribution to multiple areas of performative arts, from drama to music and literature. He co-founded Mdali, Music, Drama, Art and Literature Institute, and the Mihloti Black Theatre, which dominated the cultural milieu during the 1970s. During repression, he went into exile in Britain, where he became a founder member of the Black Consciousness Movement of Azania and continued to engage in the struggle for freedom of the people of South Africa.
Thank you, Honorable President. You may have a seat. I would also like to thank our Chancellor, the DG. Mr. President, the CV was incomplete of Oskido. Oskido should have started at the beginning. This weight that I have is partly Oskido's fault, because 35 years ago, Oskido sold wors rolls, hot dogs, outside a club in Joburg. The club was called Ramaphasa. That's where I met him for the first time. I used to frequent that club, but it seems like I wasn't the best customer because they named the club, they gave somebody else in politics the name Ramaphasa, which means he frequented it more than me. So Oskido, you are such an inspiration for young people in this country, that you know it's not where you begin, it's where you end. And look at you today. Thank you so much. I would once again call our choir to render an item. Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. President, distinguished guests and fellow South Africans, we will now bestow the Order of the Baobab. The Order of the Baobab is awarded to South African citizens for distinguished service. This honor recognizes significant contributions to business and the economy, science, medicine, technological innovation, and community service. Thank you very much.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, join me in celebrating the bestowal of the Order of the Baobab in bronze on Professor Pumla Koboto Matikizel. For her contribution to the field of social cohesion through her powerful work on conflict resolution and the concept of unsolicited forgiveness. Her corpus of work on the psychology of forgiveness has been recognized internationally, bridging public ideology and deeply personal introspection. In silver is hereby bestowed on Professor Kubedi Patrick Mokhobo. For leaving an indelible mark on the academic and medical communities. His trailblazing work in cardiology is a testament to his resilience and passion for medicine. His unwavering dedication has not only shaped the medical field, but also uplifted communities. in gold is hereby bestowed on Professor Chavani Noel Manganye posthumously, represented by Dr. Peggy Sekele. For his contribution as a thought leader and intellectual activist in terms of Black consciousness and Black identity. This is a role he pursued from early adulthood through various professional endeavors. Kenzie?
Thank you so much, Mr. President. You can take your seat. Deputy President, our president once asked me what was my most nervous moment on the stage. I told him about this incident where the MC got the CVs wrong, and I was in the company of professors. And next moment she says, our next speaker is Professor Gayton Mckenzie. He's got an MBA. He's got a PhD. And I'm like saying, no. They're like, you fix it on stage. I walk to the stage. I got there and the educated people were clapping because I am their alma mater. And I said, well, my name is Gayton Mckenzie. I do have an MBA. I do have a PhD. My MBA stands for married but available. My PhD stands for passed high school with difficulty. So whenever I see professors, I think back about that day. Mr. President, distinguished guests and fellow South Africans, will now bestow the Order of Luthuli. The Order of Luthuli is conferred upon South Africans who have made a meaningful contribution to the struggle for democracy, human rights, nation building, justice, peace, and conflict resolution. It symbolizes the vision of the late Chief Albert Luthuli, the legendary liberation struggle leader and the first African recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize in 1961. Thank you. Over to you, Chancellor.
The Order of Luthuli in bronze is hereby bestowed on Ms. Adele Kester. For her contribution to the advancement of peace and community safety. She was a founding member of the End Conscription Campaign, supporting young white men who refused to serve in the apartheid army. She was also a founding member and long-term director of Gun Free South Africa, an organization committed to creating a safer, more peaceful country by reducing gun violence. Under her leadership, Gun Free South Africa is recognized as a leader in evidence-based violence prevention advocacy that advances peace through policy reforms. The Order of Lutuli in silver is hereby bestowed on Ms. Magauta Molefe. For her contribution to the struggle against repression during the apartheid regime. She is renowned for her role as an activist, philanthropist, and a community leader. She is a former detainee of the notorious John Foster Square and producer of the documentary about women detained there, titled Surviving John Foster. The Order of Lutuli in silver is hereby bestowed on Mr. Caiphas Nyoka, posthumously represented by Ms. Alegria Nyoka. He selflessly paid the ultimate price for standing up against inhuman and unjust laws. He sacrificed his life for all South Africans to be free and live with dignity. Beyond the grave, he inspired the quest for justice, which resulted in his murderer's being convicted. Posthumously, represented by Mr. Jacques Simon. For the brave and relentless fight for the liberation of all South Africans. Simons and her husband Jack were advocates for the liberation movement who built communities and contributed immensely to our peaceful transition to democracy. So Jacques is representing two people. Let me read the citation for Mr. Jack Simons. For the brave and relentless fight for the liberation of all South Africans, Jack Simons and his wife Ray were advocates for the liberation movement who made a mark on South African historiography with their work amongst the marginalized Somebody will come and help. Pose for the photo. And then.
Thank you, Chancellor. The President was whispering to me there that he and Magauta were jailbirds. He said they were come from John Foster. So Magauta, I wanted to ask, I don't know who came first, you or the President. I don't know how things work on the political side. I know my old side, you write your name there, Gayton, Mckenzie was here. So when you come in, you see on the wall. So I don't know, Magauta, did you get Cyril, the last award, Ramaphasa was here. So, Mr. President, distinguished guests and fellow South Africans, we will now bestow the Order of Mapungubwe. The Order of Mapungubwe is conferred upon South Africans for achievements that have made an international impact and serve the interests of the Republic of South Africa. Thank you.
The Order of Mapungubeka. For her contribution to scientific research, she is well recognized internationally as a scientific leader and knowledge advocate for science and technology. She is active in the advancement of public understanding and implementation of electroanalytical chemistry through community engagements and media interactions on both radio and television. The Order of Mapungubwe in bronze is hereby bestowed on Professor Karim Sliwa Honley. For her contribution to global understanding of cardiovascular diseases, including cardiac disease in pregnancy. As a cardiologist, her pioneering research has deepened international understanding of cardiovascular conditions that are common in Africa and induced policy changes in a broad range of countries. Her work has shaped guidelines that significantly reduced maternal mortality in Africa and beyond. The Order of Mapungubwe in silver is hereby bestowed on Professor Bukosi Ntsakisi Maribati. For his excellent contributions to data science, artificial intelligence, and natural language processing that have significantly advanced both national and continental technological capabilities. The Order of Mapungubwe in gold is hereby bestowed on Professor Tulio de Oliveira. For his contribution in the field of scientific research with the groundbreaking discovery of the Omicron variant of the COVID-19. His discovery put South Africa on the international stage with cutting-edge research and a swift response to prevent infection and possible deaths in our country and globally.
Dangerous times.
We heard there's a new virus. I hope you are busy cooking something already. Don't have time to wait. Deal with that matter before it comes out. The President, distinguished guests, and fellow South Africans will now bestow the Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo. The Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo is conferred upon foreign nationals, including heads of state and government, as well as other foreign dignitaries. It acknowledges friendships shown towards South Africa and serves as an instrument of peace, cooperation, and the active expression of solidarity and support. Thank you. Over to you, Chancellor.
Ladies and gentlemen, join me as we congratulate the following recipients. The Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo in silver is hereby bestowed on Ms. Teresa Hillary Clark from the United States of America. for her contribution as a friend of South Africa. Clark has provided leadership in education, human rights, media, investment promotion, and the arts. She has dedicated her life's work to helping South Africans, mostly importantly through founding and leading the South African Sponsorship Program of South Africa.
Many things. Yeah. This is yes. And
The Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo in silver is hereby bestowed on Mr. Antonio da Silva Gomes Cordeiro, posthumously from Mozambique, represented by Ms. Faith da Silva Gomes Cordeiro. For his contribution as a loyal friend to the liberation movement who supported anti-apartheid activists while he faced significant risks.
Somebody. Sister must come. Where is she? Sister, come up and carry. The older one? Yes. Okay, you're the youngest. Look the youngest. Come forward. The Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo in silver is hereby bestowed on Professor Sharif Keita. Mali.
Professor Sharif Keita from Mali is being awarded for his preservation of the life, story, and legacy of South Africa's historical figure, Nogutela Dube. Ms. Dube was an outstanding woman who, in the 1890s, played a pioneering role in the formation of the African National Congress and in education and journalism, including through raising funds in the United States. Malian-born Prof. Keita's documentary film on Nogutela Dube and his broader interest in the people of South Africa has brought to life our country's courage under siege.
Thank you. This is good for retirement.
Yes, yes. Good for retirement.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
The Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo in silver is hereby bestowed on Mr. Pierre Magnier, former Nomgere Pierre de Heer, the Netherlands. For being a loyal and active ally to the liberation movement who risked life and limb while working for the liberation struggle inside South Africa. His contribution to South Africa's liberation will never be forgotten.
was very happy to see that we've done so much for our country, but I'm happy to see we also managed to give you a good wife. The Bible says, "You who finds a wife finds a good thing." So, thank you. We've come to the end of our program. So oftentimes, we forget as South Africans how great we are. It takes foreigners to remind us about our greatness. As I'm speaking to you today, South Africans are the top rugby nation in the world, top cricket nation. Our musicians, Wouter Kellerman, all of them, Jonathan Butler, all the young people in the world are dancing to a sound that was made in South Africa, Amapiano. Every country is dancing to a sound. That speaks to the greatness of our country. We are not where we want to be, but we are not where we used to be. But we are going to build this country. You must never forget that we live in the greatest country in the world. And I want to say thank you to the Chancellor, thank you to the band, our students. Thank you very much. I was once a student. I know it's a big day not to be at school today for you. I know the DG, the Chancellor is such a scholar. She keeps on telling me they have to go back to class. I said, yeah. So yeah, I got you. Don't worry. The school is about to come out. You can stay and eat with us. I want to thank the most important people here, which is the recipients. And somebody said I should, before I end, tell you what you mean to us. But I turned it around a bit. I want to end by telling you what you remind us of. And I can't do it. I'm not a very poetic person as our president that told me that he used to sing in jail. We've never heard him sing, so I would like to hear that story, Magauta, of the singing. But there's a highly contested poem. The contest of the poem is not the words, it's who wrote this poem. Some say it's not Edgar Albert Guest, but that's not what we're going to concentrate on. I just want to tell the recipients today what you remind us of. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queer with its turns and twists, as every one of us sometimes learn. And many a fellow turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Often, the goal is nearer than it seems to a faint and faltering man. Often, the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup. And he learned too late when the night came down how close he was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt. And when you never can tell how close you are, it may be near when it seems far. So stick to the fight when you're the hardest hit. It's when things seem worse that you must not quit. Poem closed. Good close. If you want to join this contestation, you might even attribute this to me and put my name in there. It gives me great pleasure and honor to invite you to join us for lunch His Excellency President Matamela Cyril Ramaphasa will leave us first, together with the Deputy President, Mr. Paul Mashatile. And thank you once again for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Honorable President, you might take leave. Us ordinary people shall stay behind until you esteemed guests. Thank you very much. The band, you can give us a nice Amapiano song there. While boys and girls, don't leave. You must join us for lunch, okay? You can.